Question everything, trust nothing, except for your boy, CryptoKeeper. Hopefully everybody is well today. I apologize. Life kind of catches up with you once in a while, and today was one of those days. Been trying to go live every single day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, today, one of my other businesses had other plans for me, unfortunately. So yeah, most of you know I do more than just the crypto space, and I own a construction company. And sometimes, well, let me just tell you, that business sucks. Like very simple instructions that get put out there to have a delivery to a job site. And you say, hey, here's the list. And you give the list to the company at hand that you do a lot of business with. And then you get a message from your crew lead that says, hey, boss, we don't have concrete. To which I reply, oh, well, there's some expletives in there, but we're not going to put those out on YouTube. So at any event, that's what's going on. Need to get some concrete out to a job site. One of my guys that does materials runs for me was not available. So here we are. We're late. So glad to be here. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Probably doing better than me so far today, but we're going to get back after. We're going to talk about crypto. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about XRP today. I know many of you will probably be excited about that. I probably should have put it in the title, but decided not to try to farm engagement off of a title, And we're going to talk about the overall shape and fitness of crypto markets, maybe touch on real world assets again. Yesterday, I feel like that went really well. A lot going on in the overall crypto space, people getting scared, no reason for it. We'll talk about that. What else we got? Oh yeah, Ohioans. Shout out to all the Ohioans, Oklahomans, and maybe one other state, two other states that are passing some really good legislation that is positive for the crypto space. So let me jump in the chat and say hello. First of all, shout out to Enrique Suave for letting everybody know I put out a tweet. Yes, I did, saying I'm stuck on a construction site. Stream's not going live at 1. Well, hey, here you are. You know that now. So thank you very much. Caffeinated Crypto was first in the house today. Good to see you, Caffeinated Crypto. Hopefully you are here. Enrique said 10 o'clock, but not 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I know what you meant, though. Who else is up in here? Dynastic Wolf. Yo, what's up? Glad to see you. Anybody else? Patriot Caveman getting tired of mining fiat. Well, Patriot Caveman, are you mining fiat via being an employee of a company? I'm going to guess that's what you're doing. And trust me, I get it. Nobody wants to mine fiat. That's why we got into the crypto space to begin with, right? To get away from the monster that is fiat currency. But unfortunately, we are still stuck with it. All right. So chat, glad that you're here. That's kind of my little rant for the day as to why we're late. Hopefully we still have a great stream, get a bunch of people in here, have some fun. Reminder, let me put up the text here. I need to change this. Let me change this real quick. Let me make a little change here right quick. I keep forgetting to do this. There you go. Update. Boom. Haven't been doing too much in the way of showing you guys flip or hodl, but that is still on the line. I believe, do not hold me to this. I'm working on it in the background because I have to have sponsors to be able to give away money. But I believe I've got somebody lined up for next week. Excuse me. I'm excited about that. Also, if you guys got to see the stream on VALINITY, one of my channel sponsors, I've got an exciting AMA that we're going to do a little bit different style. I'm not going to announce who it is, but I've got somebody coming on to ask some of the tough questions to the creator of VALINITY. So you know who you are. It's somebody that you guys know. I'm excited to have him on, and we're gonna talk some VALINITY. I believe that's going to be next week. Just kind of giving you guys an update on that. But yeah, super chats still doing the thing. $5,000 next time we play. $1 super chat. I'm going to go ahead and double that. Give you 2 entries. There's not a lot of names on the wheel. If you're a member, I'm a 3X. And if you gift memberships today, letting you know, I'm going to go ahead and do a 5X on the wheel. Let me look at the wheel real quick. How many names we got on here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We literally only have 4 people on here. Now we got 78 entries because Caffeinated Crypto said, hey, I chose violence. Okay. And said, I'm getting on and winning that money. So shout out to you, Caffeinated Crypto. Your name is all over this wheel. Also, my boy Army Piper is on the wheel. Who else is on here? Drew is on here, and Jet. So those are the people that are on the flipper hodl wheel for right now. All right, let's check out the market caps. Let's start there as always. Let me share my screen. Really threw me off starting later today. I'll tell you what. I was ready to go, sitting down, and then got that phone call and was like, damn, I wanted to choose violence today as well. All right, so the global crypto market cap is at, drum roll please, 2.421 trillion with a T dollars. That's down 2%. Let me update that, make sure that's still the case. Sometimes that'll get a little wonky. Down 1.8%. Okay, so Bitcoin, the Bitcoin, is at 62,553. Flat over the last hour, down a little bit over the last 24 hours, and up almost 9% on the week. How are we up 9% on the week? 9%. It's like $6,200. Did we get that low? Let me hold on a second. We got to do a little fact check in here. Let me do a little fact check here. On the week, did we get down that low? Let's see. Looks like the lowest we got 56K, up about 6K. Damn. Okay. All right. I stand corrected. Yeah, we're up about 9% on the week. ETH, $3,010. It is up 3.1% on the week. BNB still struggling to get to that 600 number, but it's up 6%. Solana, looking for that $150 number that it loves to go towards. XRP at 52 cents. Got some news on XRP, like I said earlier today. I'll talk about that. Dogecoin at 14 cents. That's up 18.2%. That's ripping. And then Toncoin. God, Toncoin doing what Toncoin does. Ripping. If you have not been paying attention, pay attention. Toncoin, Toncoin, Toncoin. I don't know how many times I can say it. Not just my meme coin Tonald on Toncoin. Nope, not that. I'm saying Toncoin as a whole. My Toncoin bags have been absolutely ripping. Great investment for me. None of this being financial advice, but hey, if that's something that you're looking at, yeah, you're one of the smart ones. Let's check out what else we got going on over here. Let me see here. It's a little easier for me to look at this other screen. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Where's my Caspa at? Okay, here we go. Caspa up over 12 cents. Love to see that. I owe an energy bill on Caspa right now. Waited a couple days to pay it because they said I could, and it pumped a little bit. That's going to help on the fiat end because I have to pay in fiat in my my mining rigs with Caspa. So that's up 15% in the last week. Glad to see that. Scroll down a little farther. My VeChain, as I am the Vice Lord, at 3.5 cents. That's up 6.9%. I talked about the graph earlier today on a TikTok. If you guys aren't following me on TikTok, do that. Make sure to do that. I do some other stuff besides just crypto over there. Definitely talk some political jargon. People will either love me or hate me for that. Also, let me go over to X. Guys, I don't know what's going on X, okay? I'm trying to stay consistent. Need to do a lot better. Need to do a lot more engagement. But damn, was up almost at 5,100. I accidentally said 6K yesterday. That was not correct. Was up at almost 5,100, and I'm down to 5,054. So either people are hating on me, or I got bots getting in and out of my my page here. So follow me over on X. It is at CryptoWars OG. If you're not already, CryptoWars OG right there. Follow me on X. All right, let's get into it. Let me pull this down real quick. I'm going to do a little TA on Bitcoin as per the usual. Guys, things that I've been doing, with my TA. My TA is overall very basic, okay? I shouldn't say it's basic. I'm more of a Gareth Soloway type of guy, right? I'm looking at a few macro indicators, using some trend lines, and then using Confluence with a few different indicators that I like to use. You're probably, now this could change, right? I didn't ever used to do any TA whatsoever, but you're probably never going to get some in-depth, drawn out, hour-long stream of me just going into TA. I bring other people onto the stream for that because that's what they do on a regular basis. At the point that I can go full-time in crypto and I'm able to trade more, maybe that'll be something that I will do. But just wanted to tell you, you don't need, and I've learned this myself. I used to think when I would watch people They're teaching TA. They'll go into all of these really complex methods, right? And I used to think, man, how am I ever going to be able to trade if I've got to know all of that? I had a long way to go. But let me tell you, you do not need all of that information, right? Not that it's not a good thing, not that the more information, the better. Listen, I agree with all of that. I'm just letting you know, figure out what works for you. Maybe test with some paper trading if that's what you need to do. Maybe use some real money, but just smaller amounts. And if you are not already signed up, I've got it pinned in the chat. Sign up for the Trading Wars competition. There's like 40 grand there, courtesy of CoinW, who is our sponsor for Trading Wars that provides all the liquidity. Make sure to sign up over there. It is a way that you can support the channel other than super chat. So I would appreciate it. If you guys did do some trading under me. It would be much appreciated. Patriot Caveman said, people probably saw I was following you on X and unfollowing you. I'm hard to like. Patriot Caveman, I love you, bro. That's definitely not the case there, brother. Enrique says, I use VPVR, stochastic RSIs, and moving averages only. And Enrique, from my understanding, unless he's just totally full of crap, has done very well with trading. So glad to hear that there are others that are not not going head and hands in to trading, as it were, with the deep dives into all of the little intricacies. I just don't think it's necessary, or at least for myself, it hasn't been necessary, and I've been able to be profitable. So let's pull up some charts. I'm going to start zoomed out just a little bit. And when I say zoomed out, I'm going to be zoomed out on the hourly. Now, Bitcoin is at 62,601 right now. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit here. We have got, there we go. That'll be a little bit easier to read. We have got, oh shoot, I'm going to have to zoom back out to be able to see my numbers. There we go. We have the value area low. So I zoomed back out and I went out to the last week, right? Over the last week, I guess I should say this current week, and all the way through today, the value area low is at about 58,717. The point of control, which is interesting, I'm going to get to this in a second, is at 63.7. And the value area high is at 65,437. That's for the week. Now we zoom in a little bit. Let's go into the 15-minute, okay? Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. All right. On the daily value areas, we've got the value area low at about 62.9, which we're below today, and the value area high at 63.9, and the point of control at 63.5. So those two value area, the 2 point of controls are very close to each other. So over the last week, what have we been doing? If we zoom out just a little bit back out to the hourly, if you look, we have got a nice big range. That's really what we've been doing. Past the move, right? We obviously had the move. We obviously had the move earlier in the week that was right here. This was the big move here. Starting on, I guess that would have been Monday. Starting on Monday, we had that first move, but then we've just been ranging the rest of the way through the week. So the real question becomes, what are we going to do here? Are we going to head back up towards this value area high? We're going to move back down towards the outside edge of the value area low, 59K. There's a lot of fear in the markets right now. And let me pull up and see what the fear and greed index is. Hold on a second. I say there's a lot of fear and greed index. I say that there's a lot of fear in the markets. Let me see what it's at right now. We're at 64. Last week we were at 43. Okay. So there's been some movement there, right? 43. How were we at $56,000 just past the halving and getting into so much fear? Let me tell you the answer, or what I believe to be the answer. I believe that the answer is, I believe that the answer to be the news. We're seeing so much happen macroeconomically across the world, right? And people see on the news, oh my gosh, They're saying that they're going to have this happening in the regulatory area. They're saying that they're going to shut Bitcoin down here. Yesterday, I talked about, this is just a funny thing, but at the commencement ceremony at Ohio State, a bunch of people were booing the gentleman who spoke talking about Bitcoin during the graduation. But the reality is, this is all intentional. If you haven't been around crypto for any amount of time, you've got to understand the idea for you, me, and everyone else, including the big dogs, is to stack. Where do you want to stack? You want to stack at as low a numbers as humanly possible. If you're not stacking on the bottom side, what are you doing with your life, right? What are you doing with your life? Because ultimately, when I talk about dollar cost averaging, we're trying to get an overall entry point into the market. So if you're newer to these markets and you're just now getting in, when you see these big drops, right, that go down to 56, 57K, which isn't even overall a big drop, but it would be for you if you're newer to crypto. When you see those are opportunities. That's why we always talk about that's why I like to talk about having dry powder on the side. You've got to be ready for those opportunities. Now, maybe you've been in crypto for a long time and your average entry into Bitcoin is, sub 20K, and 57K doesn't look too appetizing to you because you're looking at more altcoins. Okay, I can understand that. But if your overall thesis is that Bitcoin is going to 100, 200, 300, 500K, if that's what you believe and you are a long-term holder, why are we not taking advantages of dips? Why are we letting the news affect our overall thought process on the idea, the investment thesis that we have that Bitcoin is going long-term up and to the right? Why? It's just emotion. It is the reason why trading is so damn difficult, because emotionally you see some of these swings happening. I'm up, I'm down, I'm somewhere in between. Should I get out? Should I take profits? Right? It is emotionally charged information that's coming in, and it's scary, right? I've told people a million times, the best thing I ever did was buy the COVID dip. That was the scariest thing I've ever done in crypto. Think about this. When that first happened, right? Take us back a little bit. When that first happened, I was 3 years into crypto, but when that first happened, right? Listen, I called it for what it was really quickly. I didn't play the games. I didn't go along with the narrative that they were trying to push. I didn't go along with any of it. But the reality was, we didn't know right off the rip what was real, what was fake, and how big of a deal this was. They were showing, videos of hospitals overdrawn or, overbooked, and just apps. They were basically putting it that the world was ending. Okay. And what was I doing? Scarily, right? I was doing it. I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was buying Bitcoin, right? I was buying Ethereum. I was buying that fear. That is again, not investment advice. That is the best thing that you could ever do in these crypto markets if your thesis is longer term up and to the right. If it's not, and you're actively, trading, and you think that you're going to have a long downturn in the markets for whatever your analysis is, okay, different story. But if your grand scheme of things is you're looking at, like I am, 2030 and beyond, right? Have my old fashioned on the beach, 2030 and beyond. What are you doing with your life? Why are you not taking advantage of these dips? Right. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Great comment. I was talking about dry powder on the side. Just got back from Colombia. So the dry powder on the side, that's a little different. Okay. Little bit different. A little bit of dry powder on the side of the nose there. No, I'm totally just kidding. Let's see. So good evening. Well, Mark says good evening from the Netherlands. Good evening. Good evening. And I love this. Patriot Caveman calling it like it is. My wife is a virologist. It was all BS. Yes. I'm not going to get into that. I've got in trouble for that. I swear to God, that's part of the reason why I have trouble growing on YouTube. I've been told by multiple different people that they don't get alerted when I go live, all these different things. And I think it was because Crusader and I used to talk real deal stuff about not just our economy, but our government and politics. And we used to do What If Wednesday and like all of that stuff. The thing that sucks is that I should be able to have those conversations. I shouldn't have to fight the YouTube overlords for followers. It's dumb. It makes zero sense. Why can't we just have an open, honest conversation? That's the problem with all of these platforms. Pretty much every one of them. X, questionable, right? I still don't know whether I think that Elon Musk is controlled opposition or not. These are not conspiratorial ideas. These are just facts, right? If you back test a lot of the different things that we used to talk about in the political sphere, that bleeds over into the economic, into the financial space, you will see I was right. Crusader was right, right? There was a lot happening that was literally there for one reason and one reason only, to scare you. So I challenge you, if you can believe enough to be in these crypto markets for however long you've been in, and you also believe enough in this decentralized system that is cryptocurrency, or the thesis that is a decentralized monetary system that is cryptocurrency, I challenge you, keep that Colombian dry powder, if you were, on the side, and be ready to buy these opportunistic dips, right? Patriot Caveman, we're not going to get into this one, but I've heard a lot of people throw this out there. Listen, if you want to get biblical with it, they do say that he's going to basically, Satan is the great deceiver. And ultimately, how easy would it be to deceive using someone that speaks a great game, one of the richest men on earth, actively pushing against the establishment, or at least it appears as if he's pushing against the establishment? It would be a fantastic setup for exactly that. But I digress again. You're here for crypto. You're not here to hear my, political thesis. Let me say this. The crypto markets, okay? I'm going to get into some stuff with XRP here in just a minute. I'm also going to talk about some things that Ohioans are doing, and Oklahomans and a couple other states. But I want to touch on something right now, right? The sentiment of the markets, right? The markets continue to grow and adapt, right? We're looking at innovations, attracting institutional interest, all of these different things, but we're still susceptible to economic factors, regulatory developments. These are all market dynamics. These all will influence short and long-term investment strategies. Okay. So basically all I'm saying is that you have to be able to understand, with the ebbs and flows of these markets, what your thesis is. And I pound on that, because you have to have belief and conviction. The majority of people are not becoming millionaires overnight, right? That might not be popular on YouTube. That might not get me subs. That might not get me followers, whatever. But the reality is, you have got to have a belief and stand on that belief. And sometimes it's going to be really scary to do so. Point blank. It's going to be really scary to do so. But the scariest times have brought me the biggest, most success in my portfolio. So it was scary to invest when things were absolutely just collapsing around me. Do we believe that there's going to be another collapse coming up? I don't know. There would be a lot of evidence that says yes. Whether that happens with the crypto markets, or whether the crypto markets adapt and overcome and move the other direction because people see this great hard sound money that is Bitcoin and other opportunities in crypto, we shall find out. All right, let's talk a little bit about XRP. All right, I know all of you love your XRP, right? Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so the SEC has filed a final response in the Ripple case. The SEC argues that Ripple's claims do not negate the need for injunctions to prevent future violations. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but just a little bit here. Ripple Labs and the SEC have made significant progress in their legal battle, with the SEC filing its final reply of the lawsuit's remedies stage. In its recent response to the remedies brief, the SEC challenged Ripple's insistence that the blockchain startup acted without recklessness, and that there should be no widespread uncertainty about the legal status of XRP, despite the court previously rejecting their fair notice defense. The SEC also maintains its stance on whether Ripple will likely engage in similar actions in the future, even though Ripple has not violated any rules. They have not violated any rules since the XRP lawsuit was initiated in 2020. What does this sound like to you? Exactly what I was just talking about. Fear. The SEC is trying to keep each and every one of us from being able to effectively and comfortably stack in various crypto assets by keeping you on the edge of your seat, wondering whether you are on the edge or on the verge of violating securities laws. It's literally that simple. They want you to say, before I make this investment, I put this money in here, Am I gonna run into problems here? Is this gonna be an issue for me? Well, I would challenge you. All of the things that the SEC has been throwing at the wall all spin around to one thing. Take a wild freaking guess. Money. This is all about money. It's always money. When in doubt, follow the money. They say that in crime. They say that literally, like, follow the money. The SEC, the government, has absolutely screwed our monetary system. The Fed combined with our government have screwed our monetary system, right? And now we, the people, or so it seems, have come up with an alternative solution. Let's be real about something, right? I saw a funny TikTok from my boy Mac Lorden, and I want to shout him out here because he made me think about this, right? Mac Lorden was talking about how, what if we looked at Christianity as if it were a meme coin? And he basically worked through this whole idea of how a small group of people worked through an amount of time to then become the big dog on the scene, right? And there's a lot more to it, but ultimately, like, there is so much in the crypto space that takes a belief and a stance, and you have to figure out what that looks like for you. Some people, it's short term, it's short lived. It's only taking advantage of little dips here and there with trading. For some people, it's full on conviction that this is going to change their life. That would be mine, just because the fact that it has. It's been the best investment that I've ever made in my entire life, and it has changed things for me in the way that I view money. If you have not read the Bitcoin Standard, you should read that book. Safe to name is, I've met him, really nice guy, really crazy intelligent man that wrote a really good book that's simple and easy to digest, right? About money. Most people do not understand money, and the SEC and the government, everything that they're trying to go after, right, has been with a monetary purpose on the back end. They're like, well, if we can't actually pin you to the wall here, like you did something wrong, then we're going to get some money out of you in the process, right? It's just funny to me that they try to do everything that they can, stall tactics, scare tactics, and everything in between, to be able to slow down the process that is a moving train. Now, back to the meme coin thing. The reality is, right, that these, how do I say this? The how did he say that? God, I hate when I have just a full-on brain fart like that. Effectively, so Enrique said if Christianity is a meme coin, this is where the squirrel kicks in. It has better tokenomics than other religions. Effectively, what I'm saying is that it is in the government's best interest to be able to FUD you out of crypto. But are you going to let other people FUD you out of your inherent beliefs, as it were, with, let's just say, a religion? I'm not a big religion guy. I'm more of a relationship guy. My relationship with Christ is what it's about for me, right? It's not about the legalism and views that the church has put into play. Nah, it's not about that, right? It's about, hey, my deep-seated convictions of who I am, who I want to be, what I believe moving forward. And I have that type of an investment thesis as well with my money. And that's where cryptocurrency comes in. And the reality is, anything that you invest in or anything that has to do with money takes a group of people believing in something. It takes a group of people believing in something, because really, if we look at it, let's say you take, and this was something that Mac brought up, let's say you take $100 bill and you go out in the middle of the Amazon and you try to give somebody $100, which to somebody in a tribe would be a lot of money. And you tell them, hey, I'll give you $100 for that, that meat right there. If they are not a part of society that believes in the monetary system that you have bought into, that money means nothing to them. It's a piece of paper. It's fire kindling. That's what it is, right? So the thing is that what the government's realizing is, holy crap, people have figured out that our monetary system with fiat, ever since we got off the gold standard, is a 100% pure Ponzi scheme. People are getting hip to it, and people are getting away from the belief that the US dollar is the answer. Now, it's a slow burn, but it's happening. And so as the government takes a step back and sees, wow, let's assume that Bitcoin was not created by the government. Let's assume that it is really of and for the people. The government has to take a step back and say, wow, if enough people actually buy into this type of a narrative with our money, we have to pivot. And in the meantime, they have to figure out what that looks like. And what that looks like is trying to slow down everyone's investment thesis in cryptocurrency. Because think about it. If everybody just says, you know what? Screw it. I'm going with Bitcoin. I'm not going with the dollar. I'm going with ETH. I'm not going with the dollar. I'm going with XRP, right? A lot of people would love to hear that. If they start to believe, if enough people believe in the movement that is crypto, what's the government going to do? Right? They can pin us down to, hey, this is how you're going to pay. But if we are not taking loans in the form of fiat from the banks, and we start using peer-to-peer methods of moving money, ladies and gentlemen, we could solve some of the problems that we have at hand. The problem is that's a very scary venture, right? And in the meantime, they will utilize the news, court cases, anything that they can to try to slow that process down and or shut it down altogether, right? Let's see here. Patriot K-Man says, I'm very Christian, but let's tax the Catholic churches and fix the economy. Just saying. Yeah, no, when we get into taxes, guys, totally different story. But when we get into taxes, let's put our tax dollars to work here. If you're going to absolutely crush me with tax money, right, and you're going to try to kill me on capital gains tax on the currency that I'm operating in, i.e. crypto, as much as possible, if you're going to crush me on it, let's at least support our own people. I was in the Marine Corps. I want to support our veterans. I want to support people here at home. I want to support securing our border. I want to support all of these things. These, to me, are all good things that I have convictions and beliefs in. Why are we going to spend all of our money overseas trying to solve everyone else's problems? Again, I'm going to get in trouble. So I digress. So Ripple effectively is continuing to fight the good fight against the SEC. They were trying to get them to just get away with like a $10 million fine. I highly doubt that is going to happen, because the argument there is that they want to, now this is just the SEC's argument, but the argument with the SEC is that they need to be able to capitalize on your ill-gotten gains. The funny part about that, which is how the government works altogether, right, is they don't really care that it was ill-gotten gains. They just care that it ends up going back in their pocket. Let's look at some of the people that were, dealing drugs, that dude from India or whatever that had thousands of Bitcoin that they seized. Guess what? It's in their wallet. They're going to use it. Do they really care? Right? Think about the sheriff's department. They kick in a door, seize a bunch of dope, seize a bunch of dope money. What do they do with the dope money? What do they do with the cars? What do they do with the houses? What do they do with all of it? Do you know? They have sheriff's auctions, right? What's the sheriff's auction? What's the purpose of that? Well, it's for them to be able to sell your dope money, ill-gotten gains, cars, houses, whatever, to somebody to then put the money right back in their pocket. So effectively, they're just taking the tail end of the dope deal, right? They literally will just take the tail end of the dope deal. They're like, yo, you serve all the people in the community, right? You hammer down, do your thing, commit all the illegal acts you want. And then on the tail end, when we can catch you with as much as you've accumulated, we're going to take it from you. And then we are going to, sell that property and or keep that property for our betterment. Because what you were doing, it was wrong. But when the money goes back in my pocket, i.e., as if I was the government, nothing wrong there. Nothing to see here. Kick in a door, take a few bands, you know what I'm saying? Take some money, take some cars, take some houses. Yeah, I know you sold dope and ruined people's lives to do it. But if the government gets to capitalize on it, it's just a civil asset, right? That's all it is, right? Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just so funny to me because, like I said, it's always about the money, the private prison systems. There's a big conspiracy around the rap industry. And there's a lot of information that says that the CIA was a big part of promoting the lifestyle of gangbanging and dope dealing and all of the things to effectively promote the private prison systems. They had contracts in place and guarantees that they were going to keep them at a certain percentage full. Think about that for a minute. We're going to have private prison systems funded by, right, private citizens, but they're going to guarantee how many people are in there. And you don't think that there will be some sort of chaotic mess going on in the background to make sure that those are full? Yikes. And music is a big proponent of people's belief structures, of things that they, aspire to be and do and see. It is one of the ways that they continue to control people's minds. That music, that information that you take in on a daily basis will literally like penetrate you. It talks about that in the Bible too, right? These are all real things that are happening where you're taking in information, and whether you realize it or not, it affects you in the ways that you act and or think on a daily basis. I can tell you, then I'll get back onto the next crypto topic. I can tell you that with the lifestyle that I used to lead and the music that I used to listen to all the time, when I start listening to that type of music again now, I literally can feel almost a shift in my mentality, my daily, the way that I feel and act and react to people and whatnot. It affects you. It absolutely does. So we roll this over into money, right? If they can continue to FUD the markets, if they can continue to press news on you, if they can continue to get you thinking that you're not really, you don't really have any clarity on what you're actually doing and your investment thesis is sound and solid, and are you really going to be able to keep this, and where are the capital gains taxes going, and blah. If they can continue to propagate those type of ideas, it keeps you guessing and it keeps you on the edge of your seat and it keeps you questioning, hey, how far into this should I really go? How far into this should I really go? Right? Let me hit Enrique here real quick. Not actually hit you, Enrique. Keeper, do you know how many judges ended up in jail because they were taking kickbacks from prison so that they would get out longer sentences? Yeah, dude, for sure. We live in a corrupt world. The reality is the biggest difference between now and 100 years ago is one thing: communication, the internet. The information's out there now. Right. It's part of the reason that they buried the TikTok thing into a, government spending bill. The government wanted to spend the money. They wanted to put the money where they wanted. Screw what you think. Common man, layman, peasant. Right. That's what they have, their plans. Right. They're going to do their thing. They don't care what you think. Right. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Somebody said that they who was this? Let's see here. Good afternoon, Crux of Crypto. Crux of Crypto. Shout out to Crux of Crypto, guys. If you guys are not following the Army Piper Squad, following Crux of Crypto, make sure to do that. Crux of Crypto has been helping me with the thumbnails for Trading Wars, which, by the way, tomorrow. Side note: smash the like, follow if you're not, subscribe if you're not. Make sure to put on the bell notification if it works for you. Tomorrow will be Alex O versus Tradefly, two of the Army Piper cronies getting after it. So Trade Intuition said yesterday's live stream was fire. We'll have to watch this one again. Trade Intuition, shout out to you. Trade Intuition, I think, might be somebody that will be coming on for next season, possibly. We've got to work out his schedule. But that's somebody that I've been talking to a little bit in the background and plan on bringing onto the stream. So Trade Intuition, much love to you, brother. I appreciate you for continuing to support. Crypto Candy says, let the peasants do the work, and the government, the knight in shining armor, will fly in and save the day. Who policies and police the government officials? Yeah. Who does? We should, but we don't. We don't, because we don't want to be inconvenienced. That's the facts, right? We live a comfortable life. Ain't nobody got time for that. We can't be inconvenienced. And people will give me crap for talking about it but not doing. Well, Well, guess what? Give me the opportunity to actively do, and let's get it, baby. I know I'm already on a list. I'm okay with it, right? My wife knows I'm on a list. My daughter's too young to know, but she'll know, I'm on the list, right? It shows even in YouTube with how much they, FUD the channel and allow me not to freaking grow over here. It's absolute insanity. But I can't help myself, but I don't want to bow down to the establishment and not talk about real issues. This all comes down to money. And you are all here to learn about and continue to advance forward with your investment theses. Well, don't you think it'd be a good idea to have a fundamental understanding of money, a fundamental understanding about who's controlling your money, a fundamental understanding of where the information's coming that's getting fed to you that feeds into your brain about what you think and how you feel about money? These are all important topics. Too many people just don't want to have the conversation, though. So to a point, I'm willing to, this is a business, right? I need to make some money. I'd love to do this full time. So to a point, I'm going to have those conversations and I'm not going to stop, right? But there's a line where ultimately, so that I don't get totally X'd off the planet, I got to be a little bit careful about it. So anyway, man, I love you guys. I appreciate everybody that's here. Sorry that I'm late again, as a reminder. Shout out to all of you that have been watching. All right, let's talk about Ohioans. All right, y'all know that I'm an Ohioan. Oklahoma joins Ohio and Mississippi in passing Blockchain Basics Act. Let's take a look at it. Oklahoma, let me get rid of this daggone. I got to get an ad blocker, guys. I always talk about it. I always complain about it, but damn it, I just need to do it. Oklahoma has become the latest state to pass the Blockchain Basics Act, seeking to protect its own citizens' right to own, trade, and mine digital currencies. Yay! The act recently sailed through both state legislature chambers, 81-1 in the House of Representatives, and awaits Governor Kevin Stitt's signature. If assented by the Republican governor, it would take effect on November 1. The Blockchain Basics Act is a nationwide framework that lawmakers customize for their states, but the general provisions remain consistent. In Oklahoma, the initiative was led by Representative Brian Hill in the lower house and State Senator Bill Coleman in the state Senate. It prohibits the state government from restricting the use of digital currencies to purchase goods or self-custody. Let me read that again. It prohibits the state government from restricting the use of digital currencies to purchase goods or self-custody. It also protects citizens' rights to mine digital currencies at home as long as they comply with local noise regulations. The act also requires that state governments to treat commercial miners like any other data center business. They should not be subjected to higher energy costs, discriminatory noise pollution regulations, or any other extra requirements. Storm Run, the president of the Oklahoma Bitcoin Association, was one of the key figures behind the push for the bill's passage. He told one local outlet that the legislation would give the Sooner State an edge in attracting blockchain businesses. Run criticized the approach of some states like New York, which he says is skewed to favor corporations at the expenses of smaller startups. What they basically does is people who have deep pockets and compliance departments that can fill out sort of the honors applications that are difficult to get, do it, and it discourages startups from getting off the ground. Those types of companies have totally left places like New York. And more we see places like Oklahoma pass legislation like this, the more businesses we're going to see started in Oklahoma. The act strongly criticizes the proposed digital dollar, which resonates with states whose leaders oppose CBDCs. This has led to quick adoption in red states such as South Dakota, South Carolina, Tennessee, Nebraska, and Missouri. It's time for regulation to enable blockchain growth. Let's talk about this. You guys know I like to mine. You guys know that I do Bitcoin mining, right? You guys know that I have a Caspa mining farm as well. These are important parts of my mailbox money, as I like to call it. It just shows up every month. Actually, I think I got some mailbox money coming. What's the date today? What's today? The 8th. Got some mailbox money coming here soon. So love the mailbox money, right? Actually, that's funny that I said that. As I say that, I have a as I said that, I have a message coming through right now from my send the address, please. So as I say that, sorry guys, the powers that be that I do my mining with. I'm whitelisted with my mining farms through a higher entity that I'm friends with the CEO of a good big company. It's time to pay the bill. Time to pay the piper. I got to get on when I get off of here and pay them, because guess what? It's really unfortunate, but you got to pay for your power. So I digress. Back to what I was saying. What a beautiful idea. We talk about crypto. We talk about we talk about wanting to expand, wanting to grow in the crypto space as a nation. We start as a people, or we're just regular people on YouTube. We talk about things. We're growing this community of crypto residents, people that believe in cryptocurrency, and it's still a small percentage of people. So the thought process, right, that's really frustrating to me, the thought process that's frustrating to me is like, where do these people come up with these ideas that, okay, it's all about money. We talk about it, right? It's all about money. Well, if it's all about money, and you understand the idea that crypto is bringing in money and opportunities, why do they try to X that out? That should show you what's more important. I say it's all about money, but let's put it on a scale. Is it more about money, or is it more about power and control? I'll let that sink in. Is it more about money, or is it more about power and control? It's more about power and control, and let me tell you why. Because with the power and control comes money. And if they can control, if they have power over and control over the things that you can and cannot do within a local municipality, state, city, county, whatever, if they can control that and control the way that you earn, then guess what? It cycles back to, the traditional finance system. And so states like New York are going to fight tooth and nail to keep you from being that sovereign citizen, from being able to make money and earn in the way that you feel best fit for you and your family. Right? So shout out to Ohio, shout out to Oklahoma, shout out to, what was the other ones? It was, let's see here, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Ohio for passing this Blockchain Basics Act. I think this is really important. The amount of business, right? It's cryptocurrency right now is over $2 trillion. Okay. That's not to mention all of the real world assets that are going to be tokenized, which is a massive, massive number, right? That's going to be coming into play, right? We're at $2.4 trillion in market cap in the crypto space. And we have trillions with a T dollars worth of money that's going to be coming into the space via real world assets. Okay. What does that mean to somebody that's business minded? It means, wow, there's an opportunity, and it is a massive opportunity, because if you're willing to say, you know what, I'm going to let people do this, and the people are willing to pay their taxes and they're willing to do the things that the government asks, whether they like it or not, they do it, right? If they're willing to play ball and your state allows it, but not only allows it, but kind of promotes it, that's where the business is going to go. That's where the business is going to go. So at the point that they're willing to relinquish a little bit of control and allow people to make money the way they see fit, financially, fiscally, it will be a responsible decision. Not only a responsible decision, it will be a profitable decision. Think about it. You allow blockchain to continue to grow in the way that it has grown, which has been incredible. But still, it's been incredible even with all of the FUD, all of the pushback, all of the things from the SEC, all of that happening, and it's still growing at a rapid rate. Now, we get into tokenizing real world assets, and we start taking an illiquid market like real estate and make it liquid. I don't even know what that number is. The real estate markets, go ahead and make them liquid. I touched on this yesterday. That is a huge amount of money that blockchain can bring in. And if you, as a state government, are bringing in taxes off of businesses that are coming in, depending on how your tax structure is set up, why would you not want to promote that? Everybody wins. The people get to do what they want to do make decisions with their own money, and grow a business in the state in which they live. They live there usually for a reason, even if it's something as simple as family, the most important thing on planet Earth, right? My relationship with Jesus and my family, right? But I've got to be able to make money to be able to support my family. And if I can't support my family, if I can't make money in the way that I deem fit, I'm leaving. I'm out. I love my family, but I'm out, right? I will figure out a way to see my family, but I'm not going to live somewhere where I'm not able to make money in the way that I best see fit to support that family that I'm talking about. We're all trying to take the next best step forward in the best way we know how. And if the states are going to start stepping up and doing things like this and passing these blockchain acts that are going to be positive for the crypto space, shout out to each and every one of you that are pushing for that. Shout out to you. Shout out to my fellow Ohioans. Even though you booed the guy at the Ohio State commencement, the graduation ceremony. By the way, somebody died at that, if you didn't hear that. I believe it was a kind of self-fulfilling thing that happened, if you know what I mean. But which is really sad, right? And people were upset that they didn't stop the ceremony. And, you know, you can never make everybody happy. If you would have stopped it, you would have caused panic. If you didn't stop it, you're going to have people complaining about that. It is what it is, right? Sad to say. Shout out. Prayers go out to that person's family for sure, obviously going through whatever they were going through. But yeah, I am a huge proponent of letting businesses and business owners grow in the way that they best see fit, as long as they're doing it ethically. And if you can ethically grow a blockchain company within a state, and the state can then garner wages effectively via taxes off of that business, it'd be crazy not to do it. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, crypto fam, that's what it is, right? That is the rant today from your boy Keeper. Let me know. I want to know in the comments right now. I've got a couple minutes. All right. So the numbers have been down, right? Today, especially probably because I'm at a totally different time because of my snafu, if you will, with my construction business. But let me know in the comments. Do you guys like the more, I don't want to say politicized because it's not that. Do you guys like the more deep thinking, breaking down the monetary side combined with our governmental actions, et cetera, side of what I did yesterday and today? This is what I love to do, right? I love actually showing people the path that I believe, leads us to success. And to do that, I think you have to have a fundamental understanding of what's happening around you. I want to know in the chat, do you guys like that? I'm trying to obviously continue to do what I'm doing with Trading Wars. Reminder, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, TradeFly versus Alex O. Shout out to them. It's going to be a great show, right? And then next Monday, we are down to I think we have 4 people on next Monday. So, I'm going to continue to do Trading Wars, going to continue to do Flipper Hodl as sponsorships allow. But do you like me breaking things down in a more digestible sense for what's happening in the overall world of finance that includes some of our, governmental and monetary actions? I'd love to know from you guys if that's something that you enjoy. It's definitely near and dear to my heart. Because some of the understandings that I did not have prior to getting into crypto, getting into the stock market, et cetera, it's kind of changed the way that I view money. It's changed the way that I view my ability to make and earn and, whatever. Let's see here. Enrique says, 6 1/2 dozen the other. Most of us are here regularly, aren't exactly noobs. However, if you want to grow, However, if you want to grow, you push adoption, you need new heads. What do you mean, Enrique? I guess you lost me a little bit. If you want to grow, you push adoption, you need new heads. Not exactly sure what you mean, Enrique, but you've always been a great supporter of the show. So maybe I'm just letting that one fly over my head, but I appreciate your continued support. Crypto fam, I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you for being here, for listening to me. Very much appreciated. Again, tomorrow, Trading Wars, 1 p.m., right? Oh, I got you, Enrique. You said some of the topics I might go over the heads of new people to crypto. Well, I can try to break it down a little bit more, even a little bit more, simplistically, because I do want to continue to grow. I do need to grow, obviously, for monetary purposes as I continue to push farther and farther into this thing that is cryptocurrency. So maybe I'll work on doing that, try to bring it down maybe a notch. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I love you, each and every one of you. You could have been anywhere on a Wednesday, but you're hanging out with your boy CryptoKeeper on Crypto Wars with a Z. Question everything, trust nothing except for your boy CryptoKeeper. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. I will see you soon.